Hello, my name is Lore, and I'm here with my co-host, Miki.
Hello.
And welcome to the Mole Podcast. Today we'll be discussing the December 26 countries, which is the group of countries that joined Ulina on December 26. The first time the full Ulina map was open. Before that, it was just for Piero. So we have with us here today Jo, who joined as FRDB, but you may know him as Kaniva or Trigistan, and Spiggs, the Ulina legend, who ran Spigsland. Both December 26ers. We have a couple questions for them, but it'll be a mostly spontaneous discussion. Should be fun. No, I'm going to unmute them. They're currently server muted.
Hello.
But now they're not. Okay,
But
Joey,
now
say
they're
hi.
not.
Say hi,
Hello.
Spiggs. Great. Everyone is here.
Yep.
So, before I forget, I almost forgot this. I'm going to give a little hello to. I have a list here of all the December 26 countries that I'd like to give a hello to. Eliaka, which is myself, Malaysia, Resilvia. I can't read that one right. Oh, Donkey Kongo. I can't believe I couldn't read my own handwriting. The Genasis, which is NRRG and Mudkipia. Katzborg, Spigsland, Dordondo, Baldia, Chotikson, possibly Avum and Arbor, Ultimine, Ronar, Pixa, Sparanyogel, Okiokla, Voitopia, the FRDB, and possibly Argoslavia. I can't actually remember if Argoslavia joined on December 26th or later, but if they did, happy birthday to Argoslavia. If you are listening and you weren't listed, which is unlikely, happy birthday to you too. So then,
happy birthday.
Happy 2 years old.
Happy birthday. 2 years old.
You could finally shit in the big boy toilet.
Yeah, what does that mean? The potty trained now?
Yeah, wow. Getting teeth.
Yep, finally.
All right. So
I just realized I'm part of Rapiro. Why don't I just act like I was here from the start?
Because you weren't. You're stuck with the December 26ers for life. That's how it is. That's how
it's a curse.
A tragedy.
Or a blessing.
It's like a hex. Someone.
Whatever. Conversation time, I think.
Yes. So our first question is, and Mickey, you're not a December 26er, honey, so that's okay. You can answer this one too. I'll let you take part in the conversation. You're my co-host.
Yeah, whatever, kid.
Gracious.
How did you come to find Ulina?
Do I
Who
go
goes
first then? Since I'm the co-host, I'm important.
Nope, I'm the co-host now. In fact, I'm the host.
Yeah,
Spiggs,
sure.
go first.
Okay, so how did I find it?
Yeah.
Well, through Zach, of course. I just stumbled upon something he posted about the new country thing that he posted that he was talking about. And I was like, this seems interesting for like story writing purposes. And lo and behold, I talked to him and I was like, hey, I want this piece of land. And then I went through the motions and lo and behold, yeah.
You're on a podcast now.
Lo and behold.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, I'm on a podcast.
2 years later. Are you satisfied with the result?
I think so. Satisfied with the experience.
Got you this far.
Yeah.
How about you, Joe?
Yeah.
I found it when I was in the car going home from Texas when I was visiting family, and I was really bored. And like before then, I had seen some like Rapiro posts, and they were cool. And I was like, man, I want to join Rapiro. It would be cool if I could join Rapiro. How do I join Rapiro? And I couldn't. And I didn't ask about it, but I just thought, yeah, I don't think I could do this. And then he Zoc opened the whole thing up, and he posted about it, and I was like there after like 3 minutes of him posting it, and then I immediately like messaged him, and I had no idea how it worked. And the first claim that I made was of Void Taupe. Remember that one?
Same.
Yes,
I
that was
also tried to claim that.
Yeah, because it was huge. So I was like, oh, this is big. Let me claim it. And he was like, no, it has been claimed. But that was like the biggest claim. And then Knievel was like the second biggest claim.
I wanted to claim that one because it had a lot of ocean.
Which? The Void Taupe? That one?
Voidtopia, yeah.
Yeah.
It had a lot of coastline, and I wanted to be a kind of seafaring nation, which I am. I still have that naval prowess going on.
Not as much as Ilyaka, but okay. Or, what is it? Spiggs Land. I'm so smart. I'm tired. That's my excuse for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So pay attention, because Craig might be having some issues.
Oh, God.
So,
Didn't Pretzel say earlier that you couldn't be heard? Did you check the audio?
I think Craig is might be having issues. So, here's what we're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna take a little break.
Okay.
And tell Craig to leave.
All right.
We'll check the audio.
Mm-hmm.
If it's good, we'll come back and move on to the next question. If it's bad, we'll try again, start over.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I really needed this break from all the intense podcasting
Yeah,
I was doing.
I'm sweating
It's been a rough
bullets
10
out
minutes.
here.
I'm sweating profusely.
It's been rough.
Spiggs, you should just
Well-
join back as Spiggs Land, but on a completely different part of Ulina.
Just have it be like right on the equator.
New Spiggs
97
Land.
degrees every single day.
New Spiggs Land.
Okay. Well, if you're listening to this because this audio is good, we'll be right back after these sponsored messages.
Hey, it's me, Galaxy Jungles. Remember to buy Sans Air. It's Ulina's most widespread method of transporting packages from one country to another. International exports, you got it. Energy sources, you got it. Tanks and military weapons, you got it. Sans Air transports everything, everywhere. Buy Sans Air. This message is approved by the Federation of Sans Marino.
Okay. Welcome back. Craig is working. All the audio turned out to be fine, so we're doing fine. We have another guest here who has joined us, Mackal of Katzborg, who is also a December 26er. Welcome back, Mackal. Or welcome here. And welcome back to everybody else.
Hi.
Thank you.
Michael, have they found it now?
Mackal, did you want to talk about how you found Ulina, or should we move on to the next question?
Sure, I will. So I think that I don't remember exactly. I think it was loosely started out by me finding big chungles, and then slowly getting into finding Zochnik, and then maybe Sans Marino or something. And then from Sans Marino I might have found I don't remember exactly, but after Sans Marino was definitely the first one. Then I sort of found Great Higi and maybe Slavia, Kruhasta or whatever. And then it was pretty good timing when the claims first opened up, because it was on Christmas vacation. So I was like, oh, this looks fun, and I joined. And I picked my spot in southern Kanita, because it was kind of a nice little spot. I like the peninsula and a cool little bay area. So yeah,
Katzborg definitely has some good land today.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite things about Katzborg. I like the geography.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good land. Okay.
Hmm.
As for myself, I yes, it's the same for me. It's Big Chungles, then Zoknik, because when Poco left Big Chungles, I followed Zoknik naturally because he's my favorite. And then I saw the thing. I was like, hey, I'm gonna do that. I didn't add Ulina pages joining Ulina, but Miki, do you want to talk about that? Like how you found it?
So, Chungles. I'm going to be honest. I was complete outside of the Chungles community. I just followed because it's a big funny page. I didn't know anything about the admins. But
Same.
on one of the stories, I saw
I only do like
Zoknik advertise his own account. So I followed that, and like forever later, he posted a ad for Ulina, and so I joined. Just as simple as that. I think I was also getting into like map games at the time or something. I was interested, and it was just coincidental that I saw it on that day. So woo!
I thought that
And
Zoc was the only admin on Big Chungles because I didn't know any other ones. Like the only live stream that I saw was from him, so I was just like, "Oh, that's the guy who owns it."
Yeah, I knew Poco. I think I also knew about Void, which is Sumi, Mattress, 2. That's about it for me.
Yeah.
Well, I learned about them later after Zoc left because I was like,
speak.
"Oh, I guess he's not the only one."
I just want to say that now that I think of it, before Ulina, I was like, I kept desperately searching for all these map games and stuff, and they never really came at a good time to
joined any map games before, but I did play Cyber Nations for like a month.
I think like
Ulina. Yeah, not me either.
So are we ready
Tried
to move on to the next?
To join, and he didn't want to.
Yeah.
There's kind of 2 questions that go to, and this will be kind of a
favorite Ulina moment is when Slavia.
Okay, sorry about that. We're having some but he's back, so let's continue. So yes,
all right.
Back on the memorable and favorite moment thing.
Memorable moment?
Yeah.
It would have to be probably easily anything involving Carson or Donkey Kongo. He's definitely a funny little character.
Very memorable.
And him and you as well, Dotlore.
Thank you.
Yeah, those are like anything involving doing stuff with you two, or Titanic, New Mitra was always just like a really fun project.
Yeah, I remember you and Monkey, our series, lore series, where you were tracking down the Kyberian dictator, and this was before the current Kyberia. So this is when, this is the first Kyberia.
Yes.
Or it was Kyberia. It was like the Catsburg, like it was like a Catsburg communist group, and then they just became Kyberia.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was kind of an interesting origin story, but we can do that later.
Yeah. So what about you, Joey? Anything that sticks out to you from your time in Ulina?
I don't really know. I think like all the nice people I met, like that was so long ago it feels, and it was such a long time it feels. Like I stayed up, like not even like really Ulina, but just talking to the people from there was really nice.
Is there like one particular moment though that you would?
Although there is, it's well, not like a moment, but it was like a couple days of just I remember like the drama that I had. I don't even remember what it was about, but it was just everyone was really mad at me, and then we all went to war.
Oh yes, that's right. if you remember, Sasha had gone to Geneva to give a speech encouraging socialist revolution, and then he got chased out of Geneva by the state police, and then the horsemen, this is the first like horseman crisis here. The horsemen went to war against Geneva.
I remember that because I was like asleep, and then I woke up, and then I checked my phone, and everyone was yelling at me. They were like, "What are you doing? There's a goddamn war!" And I was like, "What?" And then I checked my like tags, and I was tagged in like 3 posts. And it was
I'm
weird.
sorry for bombing your infrastructure.
Well, I don't care because it's not my
The
country
union
anymore. It's the funny Lego mans. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Those are the only things the horsemen and the.
Although if the Lego man ever does leave, it's my country now.
I don't know. I doubt Mtron will leave, but at the same time, I don't know how guaranteed his continued stay in Ulina is. He seems pretty done with us from time to time. Maybe he just
I think that has more to do with the new people than anything.
Yeah.
You, Mackal, you got any favorite
but we were talking.
moments?
Continue.
Oh no, go ahead, Mackal.
Okay. Well, specifically, I remember there are a lot of things. Like I remember, like this isn't really specific, but all the like the interactions with the Kyberia, like those were all really fun. Like it was just kind of cool. Like because I feel like at that point, like in the first, like all the first wars with Kyberia and stuff, it wasn't really as planned. So it was just like kind of Kyberia doing something and me being like, okay, how can I respond to this? It's a little bit more chaotic.
Yeah, old Ulina current Ulina wars tend to be scripted, but old Ulina wars were not. They were definitely very chaotic. If you remember, you guys remember the Orontan War, in which Oranta had hypnotized a bunch of Ultiminians and so on and so forth, and then kind of a coalition of nations came together to declare war on Oranta. If you remember UNU chat during that war, it was pretty insane. There were people like talking about, okay, I'm sending troops here and here, I'm sending planes here and here, and then we were doing this whole like well, I always loathe to call Ulina roleplay, but it's roleplay if we're. It was a lot. It took a couple hours, but it was at Orontan War definitely ranks pretty high for me. Yeah. Also, I've loved to do things in Slavia, as with Cry, especially. Shout out to Cry. It's just been really fun to work with him. He's been doing, in 2019 we had the black shirts, right? And so we were like, okay, here's how the black shirts are going to work. Here's how they're going to take power, and then we obviously collaborate on all our decisions. And now it's Voda too. Shout out to Voda as well. But back then it was just Cry and I, and it was here are the black shirts. Here's how they're going to take power. Here's how the former socialists are going to be exiled or respond to it, and then like NASP lore is all coordinated with him, and so on and so forth. And then I've always had to kind of work in tandem with Cry, and I don't know, it's just fun to work with someone like that. The one time we did not work in tandem, if you remember, bringing us to another Ulina moment, was the Chunglish Civil War, in which Donut waged a scorched earth campaign against or what was then the Chungledom. I guess it's still now the Chungledom, but it was the Chungledom was like Antica and the Chungledom. So Donut launched a Scorched Earth campaign, and the Chungledom didn't like that, obviously, and I had to try to salvage my Chunglish relations, because obviously I'm in a political union with Donut, but I don't want to lose my relations to the Chungledom, and so I had to kind of say, no, we're not involved. So it was a huge crisis. I was on vacation at the time, and group called the Ulina Internationale, and another group called the Feistalen Alliance, which was kind of the proto Kiloton versus Horsemen. I don't know. The Jungle Civil War was a lot of fun for me, especially because I was out in the mountains at the time. I didn't have a lot of internet, so I had to kind of check when I could. It was pretty intense for me.
I remember when I think it like a world war almost broke out. I think it was between I think it was between like the Horsemen and or I don't even know. I think that it was involving the Horsemen. But I don't remember who.
Probably against
is that what it was
Great
over?
Heggie.
Remember?
Yeah, that was probably the mole crisis you're thinking of.
Oh, maybe. Because I just remember like I woke up and it was like all of a sudden like this huge world war was about to break out, and I was like not prepared because I think because Spigsland and Ulina were like probably in like the Horsemen or whatever, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was really scary because I was like, so I had these two massive nations like right next to me, and I think at that time I still had my population at like 1 million, which didn't make any sense, but like so that was a little bit scary for me.
Yeah, if it had been just when you woke up, that might have been Kanifa. But the mole crisis, that was kind of a huge. That's a huge Ulina thing, kind of ingrained in the psyche of anyone who is around for that. It's the namesake of this podcast, the mole. It was in one of the many, and probably the greatest of them, one of the many crises between Heggie and let's see, and Gastona. I think we're having a dispute about something, and they're involved. Like Great Heggie got involved, and the Horsemen got involved, and there were plans for war in the Horsemen chats, and Great Heggie had the Donkey Kongo and Small in there, in the Horsemen, who kind of informed him about the happenings. Some like unreleased information about what actually went down there. We were talking about war, and I'm loath to admit this because if Zoc finds out, I'll never hear the end of it. But I did start saying, here's how we're gonna attack, and here's how we're going to divide up Great Heggie. When ironically pretty imperialist. I really wanted to liberate Kruhasta and bring it back into the Union of Slavia, which, by the way, Slavia was Blackshire at the time. They were irredentist, so it all makes sense in canon. But yes, I wanted Slavia to have Kruhasta and Petru.
How cool.
I think also. So yeah, there were plans for a naval and air and space invasion, as well as how to divide up Great Heggie after conquest.
Yeah,
that was really intense because we didn't know who the mole was. I mean, eventually we did, but I mean the memes and Puss and still are, so all good things. It's probably one of the greatest Ulina crises in my mind. So anyone else got any memories to share?
I think the most significant thing I've done was always the news things, but those were only really big during the Civil War in the Chungledom.
Yes, the
So that's probably my most memorable moment.
Well, you had the Kiloton Pact named after you, at least, so that wasn't.
Yeah, named after me, and then I got pinned as the leader, even though the Chungledom was the leader. The Chungledom made the pact, named it after me, and then left because I existed, and basically made me leader, even though I wasn't.
Okay, then they decided they didn't like you because you
I'm an absolute monarchy. They don't like those anymore. And then they made Dimonarch.
Wait, what pact?
The Calatin Pact.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I made that.
Yeah, that's
I
why
made that.
the first. Oh yeah, you tried to make it the Kings League originally, and then Zuck was like, "Nope, it's Calatin Pact now."
Yeah, which I thought was cringe, but I was like, okay, whatever. At least I own it. And then he was like, nope. I took it because you're an absolute monarchy.
Yeah. But speaking of the Chungledom also, I mean, obviously, the Chungledom and then Chungika and then Great Higgy has had a lot of iconic Ulina moments trademarked with it. In which Bernard, Vitney Mulhar, or it was not Vitney at that time because he was, that's just how it was. And he declared himself Grand Leader and, so on and so forth, banished Poco, shot Blanche, got
unitary
time.
Unitary Chungledom.
A unitary Chungledom, that's right. And Ulina got together because I mean, who would have? It's basically Operation Caesar, but justified.
And then
not saying that Operation Caesar
Great
wasn't
Heggie,
justified.
And then Great Heggie never existed.
Yeah.
Alternate history book.
The good timeline.
What if Caesar was carried out? What if?
What happened to the treaty that we made during that after the invasion? Because didn't it like put like a limit their army or something?
Oh yeah. We should bring that up with Zoc. That'd be really funny. I wonder how he responds to that.
I always thought about that. Like it was like a minus 15% army limit. Yeah. And then we had to like make all of their leaders have like a psychiatric test. But Bernard's emperor now.
That's true. I remember that.
I think those are like the only 2 revisions on it. There might have been one more.
Well, he's like a head of state, but he doesn't really have any power, right? So.
Yeah, but like
he's still the head of state. He's still the head of state. We gotta bully Zoc.
Liz Blanche is head of government, but I don't think she's mentally stable at the moment. So.
No, I want the funny wheelchair.
Now that I've said that, she'll probably cut all relations with Congress. Oh, you know another thing that was early Ulina, kind of along with Operation Caesar, is the UPKU, the Ulinian peacekeeping units. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. No, that was after Operation Caesar. So like immediately after
Operation Caesar, it was a Chinglish-led organization that was just dedicated to stopping war essentially.
I remember that because after Operation Caesar just didn't happen. Like Zoc was mad at like everyone who was in it. And I was like, hey, can I join your thing? He was like, fine. Because I didn't want him to be mad at me anymore. So, boom, I joined. And then nothing happened with it.
I must have like or something for Operation Caesar because I remember people referencing it at the creation of UPKU, or it was IPKU at first, International Peacekeeping Unit. But at the creation of UPKU, I remember people referencing it, but I wasn't there for it. I had no idea what was going on. It wasn't until I found out that I was actually in Ulina for it. I thought it was like from the time when it was just for PRL, but so I don't know why I wasn't around and why I don't remember it, but that's a blind spot in my Ulina history.
Been a lot of organizations like the Riparian Union.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know the current like. I don't even know like the current factions or whatever that are in right now.
I had a map of them at one point, but They kind of overlap the whole time.
Mackal carries the UKCU. Thank you, Mackal. You do my job for me. I'm supposed to be like in charge of that, but I'm really
it's
not.
okay.
No, it's not. You should really
Like a
remind.
cat
You should.
with
I know you do.
rose
So that doesn't work. I will try. I promise you, from now on, I will try and be more active because I want to get Patrick elected again.
Thank you. Yeah.
He needs to create the Department of Labor, the Department of Education. Would have already passed that, but we haven't done anything with it. So whatever. I'll get him to pass some legislation.
Good idea.
Whoa.
Okay. So now that I guess we've kind of wrapped up the conversation, and we're at about maybe 35, 40 minutes.
All right.
Wait.
But what changes would you guys say you've noticed in the community from when you joined to now? Because it definitely has changed a lot.
I mean, you mentioned it earlier, but organized wars.
Yes.
When I first joined, wars were like really just in the moment. Like you could just get in a war immediately.
Oh yeah.
Just randomly. It was really. I mean, that's how I got
those.
wars.
I really wish. I wish those were a thing again. You can just say that.
I don't because I was asleep.
Yeah,
okay,
lore's a lot more connected now.
I've seen.
Oh yeah, lore's a lot more important. Remember when the first lore was just... Actually, Miki, you can't say that because the first Ulina lore... You can't say that. Miki is saying that everybody's a lot more horny now, which is probably true. But
you're putting words in my mouth.
I think that the like ironic kind of thing like that has just been always a part of Ulina culture.
Oh yes, definitely. And Burrow for when that existed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Burrow.
One of the biggest changes that's probably happened over time is that we've moved to Discord a lot more because Instagram's a bad app.
Yeah, there's definitely been like a shift towards professionalism in Ulina. I mean, well, not in like relationships. We definitely don't have professional relationships with each other, but like original Ulina was very organic. Like, whatever, you know, it's just kind of, it happened as it happened. But this Ulina is definitely a lot more organized, you know, as it is.
Yeah.
There's also been changes in the community. I noticed, especially around the turn of the year between 2019 and 2020, particularly the Listovia was a big thing, as well. And is also the move towards space. I mean, space was kind of always been somewhat of a thing, but it used to be like just like San Marino was the space country, that was it. But like
now there's
space
two rival space factions.
Back when I was in, it was very
the other one.
It was very taboo.
Sorry,
yeah.
Sorry, back when I can't remember the name of your organization.
Shout out to the UAF.
Spacefarers and the other one. That's it. Oh yes, the UAF. Thank you. The fourth, obviously, which kind of came and went, right? Because at the beginning there was no fourth, and then August 4th was the first fourth. There were no more fourths after that, and then January, March, April, May, June, and July was July or August was probably the last. August was August 4th, 2019 was the last fourth.
Yeah, but
we haven't had one since.
We did 1 year, then we had. And one heck of a ride.
Yeah, true.
Anything else that's changed over time? It's been 2 years. Something's wrong
I mean,
with
I'm
me.
not like really in the chats as much, although I don't know. I mean, I've noticed the Discord thing a lot just because like I get notifications from it all the time, and when I was first here, it was never active. Like,
Yeah.
no one ever used Discord because
Especially
the
recently.
chats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, since
But it's much better
since
that we've moved to Discord just because you know, you can only have a certain amount of people in an Ulina chat.
Yeah, like, I kind of
And-
miss the closeness of like the main Ulina chat, but
Oh,
I
yes.
think that it's for the better that everybody can talk.
I do think that is
Mhm.
true as well, just because
Yeah.
there was like, I don't know. I didn't like it. Just like everyone just. I wouldn't say like it felt like the elites who were in the main chat, and then I didn't even know there were other chats just because I was in that one, and I was like,
Yeah,
because it was
think
just
I
called
was only in
Ulina. It
1 and
wasn't
2.
called Ulina 1. It was just called Ulina. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wonder
Well,
what would
there's
have
a 2.
happened if
There was a 3.
the Instagram chat limit stayed at 100 people. I wonder where we'd be now.
I doubt it.
Instagram,
I remember
probably.
when that happened, and I was like, oh, good. We can have everyone in one chat. And Zuck was like, no, that would be terrible.
No, that's what we did though. But then they got rid of the chat limit again.
I think
Did we?
today that would be the best move. It'd be a lot, but it'd be the best move for Ulina. Also, if we look at the style of, I kind of already touched on this, but look at the style of lore. Like, early Ulina lore was think of like sex lore, right? Very, very silly. Just
Jungle's
the
main
joke,
community.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus, like Great Hagi Eclipse, right? Or even Pollution to an extent, but Great Hagi Eclipse especially, there's been a move towards serious, I guess it's kind of more serious themes and lore. Although there's still definitely humor, there's been a move towards more serious themes and deeper stories, and that's all very good. It's just
Can I just comment? Oh my God, Listovia, that has been amazing. They make like amazing posts.
Yeah, but they hardly ever post. At Fritz,
they hardly ever
please,
post, but when
please
they
post.
do, it's really good.
Yeah,
That is true.
What was it? Like the one where they had a meeting with Slavia. That was
Yes,
really good.
that's my favorite video.
Yes,
It's so good.
and then you died. The end.
Yeah, I did.
No more dot lore.
It was implied that Sasha was shot at. Yes.
I'm glad that Listovia wasn't one of the ones that just made good art and then left after 3 weeks.
Yeah. I'm definitely very glad.
I feel like we've definitely corrupted them a little. At least made them come out of the shell a bit.
We've definitely corrupted. I don't feel bad about it, but that's the way of Ulina. Or well, you, Jo and Spiggs might not know as much, but
Yeah.
Sfoxoni was around, which was kind of a big thing. He was kind of, I mean, obviously not a figure, but while he was here, it was a very wild ride.
Quixoni, isn't that the? I don't remember because I wasn't in Ulina, but he was in Ulina Craft, was he not?
Yeah,
he was the Polish transphobe.
Yes. I didn't like him from the second I met him, which I met him on Ulina Craft, and the first time I met him, he was wearing a Nazi uniform in Minecraft.
Oh God!
And I told people about this.
I think it was a communist. I think it was
either one. He was still being edgy.
It might have been though. Yeah, that's true. It was pretty edgy, but I definitely think that for those who were there to experience all that was Sfoxoni, is definitely entered the Ulina psyche for them, along with the mole.
I know Gutenberg, or however you pronounce it. I don't even care how you pronounce it, but I know them. They had a like they have a big impact. Like people just make jokes about them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Gutenberg, because that's a good memorable moment because Gutenberg they hacked a bunch of countries.
What?
With like fishing.
Yeah.
Gutenberg had hacked a bunch of countries with fishing links.
That charter.
Like Vodovia? I remember that. Or Void.
No,
Void. Void.
No,
It was Void.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
Void.
Someone was hacked.
Iron Coast.
No, those are two different things. Void got hacked by
I
someone
know
else.
Void. I meant Void.
But
I just want to say that. I'm sorry. For the longest time, I was convinced that Xshire was Gutenberg. Like, I just thought like they seem to have like an Imperial German theme to them, so I was like, they have to be Gutenberg.
It's never a good sign when they're Imperial German, German in general.
I guess they didn't turn out to be, and now they're
I'm pretty sure
Carnelian economic area. Very exciting.
Isn't I'm probably really dumb because I haven't been in a long time, but isn't what's his name? The fat Heggy guy. You know him? Do you know? I don't know what it. Bernard. Yes, him. He isn't his son like a German cross?
It is. He is the Iron Cross. You're right. Oh, you're right.
Oh my god.
That is his little sign on the wheel.
He's Imperial German.
I think you mean the Grand Unitary Cross. Thank you very much.
That's true.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Grand Heggiite Unitary
lore
cross.
behind it. Besides just, it's the Iron Cross, but Great Heggy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so true.
It is so true. Okay, we're coming around to the end of our time, so let's ask our last question, which is, what things would you like to see, or from Ulina in the future?
As is tradition, Spigsland go first.
Oh God, what would I like to see from the future?
Yeah, or what would you predict that you will see? I guess.
I would like to see more involving mythos and like the idea of spirituality in Ulina is something that is a concept that I like.
Yes, I agree with you.
And maybe if the stars align, I might want to write something regarding it.
Ooh, that'd be great. You should let Zoc know because I think he is looking at Michiism a little bit more intensely. So you should
yes, that is something that I want to dive in on because I don't know. I feel like it needs a little bit more care. Just
see my religion post.
But yeah, that's definitely an interesting thing.
Have you seen my religion post on Slavia, Spiggs?
I have not actually.
I don't look at this is bad because we have not paid attention to Ulina, or I haven't at least. But I haven't paid too much attention. I look every now and then, but I just there's so many countries.
I barely paid attention when I was writing for it.
You should look on Slavia.
I would just be like, hey.
We will look at your post. Maybe, kid.
You should look on Slavia_Ulina. It's the post with the gray background that's titled the Svieto religion. And you'll know it because it has the Iliacan crest on it. Although there's also a history post that has the Iliacan crest, so look out for that too. But it has, I drew a bunch of my gods. I drew like 7 of my gods.
Yes.
This is so cool.
Definitely check me out. Okay, Joey, what about you?
Religion, I mean, yeah, like I agree with that. I think it would be really cool to have that. Lestovia, before they delete a lot of their posts, they had like a really cool religion thing. I don't know. It's really cool.
They had that one post with some of the gods. I remember that.
Yeah, that was really cool. I like that. And also, one thing that I wanted, I mean, it's not necessarily like a thing that I think is going to happen or needs to happen, but one thing that I did want a long time ago was more organized way to do war. Because
True.
at the time, we had it like in Ulina, it feels like children, like like kids fighting, and they're like, "I shoot you with my laser," and he's like, "No, you missed."
Yeah,
That's how it
exactly
felt.
what it was.
First Siberian War in a nutshell.
Because and also
It's
not only
definitely a
that,
hard thing to simulate.
there's also stubborn people who don't want to lose the war. So then they'll be like, "Oh, okay, well, I didn't lose the war. I actually shot you with my mega laser and blew the entirety of Ulina."
My president actually hid in a giant metal ball, and he made it out alive.
Yeah,
so
stuff like that. It was just
Yeah.
Sure, but that's why it's better that we have the more integrated lore, so that way you can make wars that make sense and everybody's satisfied with the conclusion. Woo.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true. That is a benefit of planned wars.
Mhm.
But there is no spontaneous wars, so
Yeah, I do
Little
like
bit.
spontaneous.
Yes.
Lars is in the chat and he's saying, "Don't plan them, dice roll." Bit of advice.
Yeah, I think every time we've brought up random wars, it's always been like dice rolls and random number generators. That's really the only way you could do it.
Yeah, that
That's
is really
being
the only
fair.
fair way to
Yes,
conduct.
I mean,
very hard thing to
not really, just because if you have Great Heg against Siberia and you have a dice roll,
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna really
I mean, of course, you'd have I don't know, multipliers or whatever. Being like, hey, this guy has this many tanks. This guy has this money, and then
so
someone gets a multiplier depending on.
Yeah, that's that's what I always wanted it to be. I asked, can we just make it a math equation? Because that would be kind of easy. It would make sense.
Yeah.
This person's number is way bigger just because it's Great Hegi, and this person's number is -5 because it's Siberia.
Does anybody remember when we actually tried to make a war system? There was a group chat and everything. But I don't think Zoc wanted to do it, so it didn't happen.
Zoc wanted it to just be random, which
no.
Yeah, fine, whatever, kid.
Yeah. I think that wars can go pretty smoothly without a system, but only if you're doing it with the right person. Yeah, because like one of you said, if the person's stubborn and just doesn't want to lose, then it's not going to work.
With something the size of Ulina, you're always going to have that fucking lump of dick cheese that's like, oh no, I don't want to lose.
No, you missed my entire country.
Yeah, I think a perfect example of where a war system would have been good is in the first Siberian War, the second, or whichever one it was. The one where literally everybody attacked Siberia.
Yes.
Because realistically, the entire Siberian population would have died.
It would have just been
literally, yeah, because everybody was just doing whatever they wanted, and Siberia got carpet bombs, and Sans Marino put their laser on Siberia. There's no way that just avoided civilians.
Okay.
I remember
war crimes were committed, but it's just an average day.
Yeah,
I remember.
That's what I call a Tuesday.
I remember right before Siberia was about to get kicked, I was like, no. Here's a new idea, great idea. What if we just make them a part of the Soviet Union, and then they're mine now? And then Zoc was like, no, that makes no sense. And then I couldn't get them, but I just wanted a land grab because I'm imperialism's bad, guys.
Man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But only when Slavia does it. When Kniva does it, it's fun.
Do you guys remember in the early days of Ulina when NRG would be constantly asking for land? It just became
funny
thing.
I leased land.
No, he wanted he wanted an island, and I remember this one time after something happened, it was I think it was an Ulina Awards. He got an island, and it was a big deal.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he was so happy.
Celebrate.
Well, he united with Mudkipia to create Genasi, so he kind of got land.
And then he overthrew them. and he's in charge now. I feel bad for Rhea Silvia when they were part of the Soviet Union because I was just dicking around and like fucking I got into a giant war and they didn't even do anything. Like they were just existing, and then I was like, "No, you're in a war now."
That was the peak of your chaos, your reign of chaos.
Yeah.
No, my peak was when Huey Long threatened to nuke the world.
Huey Long.
Huey Long.
Remember that.
Who Huey Long was because of Geneva.
I learned about who he was because I live in Louisiana, and he's just the big guy. He's the big important guy, and there's statues, and he's really cool, and everyone likes him, even though he's a goddamn dictator. There's stories of him, like, there's, like, pictures of him next to, like, Jesus. Like, just pictures of, like, he was, like, a cult figure.
Just like Jesus.
Yeah, but he was from Louisiana, so I like him now.
Yeah.
Like, that's basically how
more like
everyone
the devil.
feels.
Dictator prose Louisianan. Stevens out.
The Canadian flag changed, like, right before I left. It was kind of cool. I like that one. It had, like, the eagle on it.
Yeah.
Eagle on the shield.
I think we've got about...
Is it almost
probably
leave
a
time?
little bit less, but it probably is. Unless you guys have anything else to say.
Could I answer the question?
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry,
God.
Michael. You could
Glossed over.
You could just speak up.
Yes,
I
just wanna
feel
interrupt
bad now.
this.
Please speak up.
It's okay. I just want to say that I want to get involved in more wars, like this war that I'm probably about to be going into. The like I don't know, like third or fourth Siberian War. It's gonna be fun. I'm not sure how it's gonna end exactly, but I think that me and Siberia are pretty good at working together now, so it should go pretty smoothly.
Yeah, okay. Mackal's a warmonger.
Of course, nuclear weapons kind of complicates things.
It is Benito Scarpone, so...
And also Harvania. Harvania is going to get involved, I'm sure. Also, I'm pretty sure Lorin, was delivering weapons, and I'm pretty sure Harvania is. And I don't understand how that works, because there's a complete blockade, but, you know, it's Ulina, so... Doesn't matter.
You know what? I was talking about
Harvania today. They can like drop it from outer space.
I don't understand.
When I rejoin Uzbekistan, I'm gonna get war declared on me immediately.
Harvania is just casually committing, Harvania is just casually, what's the word? Casually committing the largest scale imperialism we've seen in like,
oh my god,
a while.
Yeah,
nobody.
It's like,
He's doing anything about it.
It's like, Benito called him out, but it's like Benito, if he had the chance, he would definitely do something similar, but at least he admits it. It's like Harvania is trying to be like spreading the revolution, but it's just imperialism.
Yes. I mean, I think that's almost the end of the podcast, but I want to talk more.
Yeah, Harvania is taking the USSR route and painting his imperialism as a liberation of the workers.
What is I don't know who it... Explain, please.
Who is Harvania?
But
no, what are they doing?
What are they like absorbing nations around them? Or...
Okay, imperialism.
Are they big on a map?
They're like right above Inkling. Like they're pretty big now.
Oh, it's a country in Zapita, and they're committing a comically large imperialism.
Have fun.
Yeah, just annexing nations, essentially.
Geneva would never do that.
Yeah. But...
that's a Slavian move.
Does anybody else have anything to add to the podcast?
Oh, actually. I do have another thing that I would like to see from people. All right. Anyway, I would like to see a bit more stories involving like average people who live in like countries.
Yeah.
I think the everyman story of, I don't know, Inkland or whatever would be interesting. Just like seeing how someone lives who's just a regular guy in a city or in a country where just like wacky shit's happening. I think that could be.
That's a cool idea. Yeah, like I know Harvania did it and Kyber did it. Kyber was kind of funny.
Yeah, that. I would definitely like to see more of that.
Yeah.
Yes. In Numitra, everyone's just shooting each other. That's how I picture it.
That would make a fun.
It would make a fun
type of story. Just some nude merchant dickhead just waltzing around his hometown.
Although if that did happen, he would probably be seen as like a main character or whatever. I don't know how stupid Titanic lore works. Whatever, I don't care. You're a Lego man. Okay, I think that's almost it. Although I don't know. I don't call the shots.
I thought you made yourself leader.
Yeah, I thought you.
No, actually, screw this. Podcast over. Goodbye, everyone.
I thought you bought it for $2.4 million.
Happy birthday, Donkey Congo.
Yes.
Happy.
Even though you're not here, I forgive you.
It's kind of starting to perish.
I don't. Be here next year, or else.
Carson, if you're listening, I
no, we're gonna have a new podcast in a year.
Yeah.
In a year, Ulina won't exist.
We're gonna have this recorded, and then we won't publish it. And then in a year, we'll be like, okay, we're reviving the Mole podcast. Everyone come and record.
I really hope that Ulina survives for a very long time.
So do I.
I really hope I'm
really
a part
enjoyed
of it by
Ulina
then again.
It's been a great time for me. I really enjoyed the community and the people in it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay, I guess.
I don't even know what I did before Ulina.
I was just kind of there.
Yeah.
I met some pretty cool people.
Is my hobby now. Like I do other things, but
yeah, Ulina is pretty much my hobby.
I need to get back into it again.
Yeah, I'd love to see you and Spiggs come down.
I think I've matured a lot more.
Even if it's just one thing.
I think that the Spigslandish government should reform, and I think there's some unclaimed land, like in the islands to the north of Kanita.
Oh yeah.
So I really like to see Spigsland come back.
Please exist again.
Well, I don't know if I'd come back entirely, but I'd like to do maybe one or two.
You could come back as a UKC puppet state.
Yeah, that was the original plan.
But I actually joined back for a very short time under Great Hegi and also Numitra. But I didn't do anything in either of those. Numitra was like hours and Great Hegi was like a month or two. I got to see some behind the scenes lore things before they happened. That was cool. But I didn't do anything. I was the military leader for a bit, but yeah, we never did anything.
Okay, well, if we're done, any closing remarks you guys would like to make real quick?
It's okay.
Thank you, Joe.
You know, it's fine, I guess.
Spiggs, any closing remarks? Thank you.
This was a good one.
Yeah, it sure was. Mackal, any closing
Happy
remarks?
New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year. Happy 2021.
Well, should be out.
Happy year.
Yep.
Current year.
Bikini. Going down the list now. Bikini, any closing remarks?
Do more.
This is too true. Too true. I've already said my closing remarks. That was that whole bit about how much I love the community. So, with that, this is Lore and Mikini from the Mole Podcast. Thank you for listening, I guess, and we'll see you whenever we have a next episode. We haven't decided on a recording schedule yet, so whenever that happens, if it happens. All right, bye.
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 Bye.